QuickBooks Pro Plus Desktop 2022. Print, save as PDF, and export to Excel profit and loss or income statement reports, part number 1. And get ready because we bookkeeping pros are moving up the hilltop with QuickBooks Pro Desktop 2022. Here we are in our free QuickBooks sample file, sample rock castle construction, going through the setup process, the view drop-down, open windows list, left-hand side, company drop-down, home page, middle area, maximizing the home page to the gray area. We're going to be saving some income statement or profit and loss type of reports, thinking about how we can group those reports, format those reports, keeping in mind what the end goal is to provide those reports typically to a supervisor and or a client. How can we do that as efficiently as possible? We thought about this when we printed out the balance sheet type reports in the prior section, setting up a folder that we're going to put these reports into. We're now going to be adding the income statement reports to them. If you were not following along with the prior presentations, that's okay. You could still print these reports out. Think about how you would organize them. Think about how you would provide them to a supervisor or client in a format that is as nice as possible, given the fact that presentation is half the battle, in essence, meaning the presentation's got to be important. Okay, so if we minimize this item, going to the desktop, then we created this folder where we're going to be saving the reports. Going into that folder, we then created our folder where we're going to save these reports. You might then organize these by clients if you were a client situation, possibly then by date or by year, and then possibly by the information in that year. Also having maybe a separate folder for permanent type of files, things that are not going to be changing on a yearly basis. I'm going to record this report folder as reports for the first part of this course, which is a navigation part, as opposed to the second part, which we're going to be creating a new company file. If I go into this folder, last time with the balance sheet reports, we created the reports themselves and we put them into basically a folder, but that folder we couldn't attach. This allows us then to have multiple different files that we could attach to an email, but we'd like to possibly make it a little bit easier on the recipient, possibly by zipping them. Attaching a zipped file could be a little bit easier, or we can get them all on one report with the help and use of putting them in Excel using a cute PDF printer or some PDF printer to create one PDF file with all the reports on it. So we'll do the same kind of process, updating this report and then adding our reports to this file, creating a new zipped file for the P&L reports. Going back to then QuickBooks, we have saved these reports in the memorized reports area. So I'm going to go to the reports drop-down, memorized reports. Let's go to the reports drop-down and then the reports center, actually, I think would be better. And then go to the memorized area. I'm going to maximize the reports center, go to the list view, and we've numbered our reports in here, although the numbering system's not perfect because it still didn't organize exactly by the numbers. But this could give us an idea that for month-end clients, for example, we want to print these reports, simply change the date range of them, and then we can format them in this order and then give them to our clients in that way. We ended off last time with the balance sheet reports that stopped off down here on the balance sheets down to 7, 8. So now we're on number 9, which is our first income statement report. I'm going to run that report. And then we're just going to start off saving these reports as the PDF files. We could do that two ways. One, we can hit the print button down here. We could save as a PDF, or we can print it and use the cute PDF printer to save it. Our other option to give this to a supervisor or client would be to email it directly from here. This not being optimal if you have multiple reports that you probably would want to group together, attach them in such a way that you can organize them nicely to provide them to the client or supervisor. And then we have the export, which we'll talk about most likely in a future presentation. That option being nice that we can then export to Excel, use Excel to put everything on one PDF file, which can make it look a little bit nicer as well. Let's first look at our printing option here. We're going to print the report or save it as a PDF. Going to save it as a PDF, and we're putting this into our QuickBooks. Here we go, and I'm going to put it into the reports file, and then I'm going to put it into this month-end reports file here as well. I'm going to call this, I think this was number 9 that we'll call it. So I'm going to say this is number 9, and this is the income statement summary report. Saving that, going back to our folder, going into this folder here, there we have number 9 has been added successfully. So now we can go to the next one, go into the reports on the left-hand side. We're now looking at number 10, which is a little out of order, but it still works. It still works. Here's the number 10 folder. Notice that we could format if you needed to have the formatting. You could go to the report or the print and then the report. You have your formatting options, including the margins and the settings. Then I could print it to the Qt PDF printer, which is another format of printing the document. We can change the settings this way to portfolio or landscape. We can use the smart page fit items down below. And then if I needed to print it by using the Qt PDF printer, I can then print it in this format and create, in essence, a PDF using the printing option or printing function. So that way I could say, okay, let's check it out. There it is. It's going here. I'm going to put it into this report. This is number, what am I on? Number 10. Number 10 is going to be income statement summary by month report. So we have that one, saving that one. Let's see what else we have. We're on number 11, report center number 11. Run it, check it out. And so we'll run this one. Let's just save it as is. So this is the comparative report. Okay. So I'm going to say, let's go to the print option. Let's just save this one. And I'm going to call this one number 11, because that's what we're on. Number 11, comparative income statement. I put that in there twice. Summary. And there I'm going to save that. I should change the title here to fix that, but I'm not going to do that now. And so we're going to go then back to the reports again. Look at number 11. 11 on the reports. Save that one. Print it out. Save it as a PDF. I'm going to position it right under the title there so I could copy the title, hopefully properly, but possibly not. Income statement vertical analysis report. This is number 12, by the way, so that it will order in numerical format here, which actually does it properly, unlike QuickBooks did. Saving it, and then we're going to go back to the reports again on the left-hand side. We're on number 13. We're almost there, number 13. And we're then going to say, let's print that one again, save it as a PDF. Organizing it so we can then copy the name. This is going to be number 13. Number 13. Income statement by month. Statement by month report. Save it. And then I think we got one more, and that's it. I'm pretty sure. Number 14. Let's do that one. Print that one out. Report. Hold on a second. Print it out, save it as, positioning, typing, number 14, comparative income statement. Saving that one, there it is. So then if I go back to what we have saved thus far, now we could say, okay, now I've got all of these reports that are here. If I go to the view up top and say I want to see them extra large, just to emphasize the fact that there's a lot of them here. If I attached all these on one attachment, it would be quite overwhelming. Numbering them is kind of nice. That's not often done, but it's kind of nice because then when they do download them and put them into their folder, they can at least see the format or the ordering that we think might be appropriate for them to look at it in. So that's nice, but still you probably want to zip it. So I'm going to go back on over here and say I can't attach the folder to say an email. I can't attach the zipped item to an email. What I'm going to do is delete this zipped file because I have changed it now, and zip this file, right-clicking on it to do so. Go into the send to item, and we want to compress it. Not simply to compress it, because that is nice too, because it's more likely to fit in an email when compressed, but also because we can attach a zipped file, meaning attaching one file, which is nice. However, not perfect, because then they still have to open the zip file, uncompress it, take the forms out of it, save it somewhere else, and so on. If they're going to actually look at it, it would be nice if they could just double click on it right out of the email, open up one file. That's what we'll work on next time with the exporting feature to Excel, using the Qt PDF printer then to take that and put all of our reports on one PDF, having one long PDF that we can then provide. If we go back to QuickBooks, we will do that by going to each of these reports again and exporting them to Excel. This time we'll have a new worksheet, but we will be sending them to the same workbook that we had created in a prior presentation, thusly, second workbook. So we'll go through that process next time.